What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Coffee and VR, our weekly show where we talk about everything that's been going on in VR in the past week, give you some updates about stuff to come. My name is Sean. This is Tyler sitting over here.
Absolutely.
So we had a pretty big week
True.
this week. This has been a pretty massive week for VR. We've gotten some big
Oh
releases this
man.
week, some big titles, some stuff we've been excited for a long time, and we're definitely going to get into
Yep.
some of that. So, but
Yep.
starting us off, what have you been up to this week other than playing some of the big
Yeah,
games?
playing a bunch of games. Yeah, I've been getting, into the headset as much as I can this week, which has been a lot of fun. I've satisfied a lot of things that I've been waiting on for a long time. Won't talk about it yet, but hard not to. And some other games too that actually surprised me, which we'll talk about as well. But yeah, I mean, for me, I've actually been one thing I've been printing out some brackets for the Frankenquest for deluxe audio strap for Anthony from VR365. So he actually decided to break down finally and buy a deluxe audio strap, which is awesome because the comfort is just bar none way better than what the Quest has in itself.
And we talked about that a bunch last week with the comfort stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's moving that direction.
And I wonder if that finally convinced him. Like, I mean, it is. It's so much better. It's so nice to have. Something.
So he already has that ordered, right?
He's not actually ordering it. He's actually buying it off somebody.
Okay.
So I think he's, getting one, but I don't know when it's coming yet. I don't think it's happened. But I do need to send those out to him so he has them in hand.
Awesome. I just noticed that. Yeah. I just noticed that Lego cup too. That's pretty sweet. Your coffee mug. That's
always grab
awesome.
from the collection.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But I'm a Lego fanatic as well, so can't help it.
So real quick, before we get too far into the show, I wanted to give an announcement here and a little bit of a shout out. So Fluke Rogi is in our Discord, and he is the one that usually does our timestamps for our videos and stuff after the fact, which we really appreciate. And he asked me if we could kind of give a little bit of a shout out on, let me get the dates here. So on November 30th, he is meeting up with Gary from VR Roundtable, and it is in Leicester, UK on November 30th, and they're meeting, let me see here. I can't think of the name of the place.
Yeah, it's
a retro event is what it is. So let me see here. Bit of clarity. It's a small event at the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester. He said so people shouldn't expect anything massive, like no E3 kind of thing, nothing like that. It's basically going to be around 70 people, and he said you have to put your name down, and it's £10 to attend. And we did put the link in the description. If you go there, you can sign up on that website there. He said it's mainly retro gaming focused. They have a load of machines set up to play on, as well as 4 virtual reality machines. It's from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. They serve food and drink. And he said he met Gary there last year, and he said they spent most of the day talking about VR and gaming and stuff like that. So I'm actually a little bit jealous. I would love to go to this. I think that would be a lot of fun, but we're not anywhere close to the UK, so we won't be able to make it.
I know.
But yeah, if you are in the UK, make sure you check that out, and you can meet up with them guys, which would be really cool.
Which I forget. I was talking about it on, I don't know if I remember, it was our Discord or I think Anthony at VR365's maybe. But some guys were talking about these retro arcades and stuff. And I said, actually, in the States right now, it's kind of a big thing. They have like restaurant bars with, all the machines and stuff, old and new, and you can play them for free. And they just want to get you in there to sell food and drinks, basically. Right. And they were like flabbergasted that that's like a thing. And I'm like, oh man, it's amazing.
I actually think there's one close to me.
So cool.
There?
They're somewhat close.
And I haven't been there. I do need to check that out. That sounds really cool. So
they're so cool.
Yeah. So if you do want more information, like we said, the link's in the description, as well as if you want to contact Fluke Rogi on actually, I think he just goes by Fluke on Discord. So yes, he posted something on our Discord. I think it was under the randomness tab, maybe. So if you do want, you can send him a direct message or whatever too, I'm sure, to get some more info. So and hopefully if you guys do go, put some pictures in our Discord and stuff. That'll be really cool to check out and see what's going on. Yeah. So I just wanted to shout that out and let you guys know about that. If you're available to go, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so I would love to do a meetup. Like if we get to go to the next, VR event here and to do something, because man, everyone meets up kind of at the event, but it's kind of hit or miss. Everyone kind of runs around and does their own thing. So it'd be really fun to have like an after party or something with everyone.
That'd be a lot of fun. Cool. So maybe next year for OC7.
You got it.
So let's jump into a little bit of this Carmack stuff with John Carmack
know.
stepping down. Another one bit the dust a little bit. In a
Talk
sense.
about timing too. I mean,
Yeah.
with the awards and everything. Oh
Yeah,
man.
so he received the award for the Lifetime Achievement in VR award, and what it was like the next day or 2 days later, he announced that he was stepping down from his position. And as far as I understand, he's not leaving Oculus. He's not actually
Right.
leaving. He's just not going to be in the same role, and he's not going to be working as hard and heavy as he has been for the past couple years.
Yeah, and the thing that blew my mind is what he said, why he actually said why he left. You know, a lot of times we don't really hear. They just say, "Okay, I'm done," and that's it. But he said because the progress wasn't or moving at the pace that he thought it should, and the fact that he said every time he'd get into VR, he would see something that needed done, and that list just kept getting longer and probably wasn't getting addressed. So I don't know. You know, all these guys leaving, it's crazy that they don't agree with maybe what's going on.
Well, that's what he said in the acceptance speech kind of thing, was that, you know, the VR wasn't as far ahead as what he had hoped. And I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised by that, though. I think all of these founders of VR and stuff, they saw it taking off a lot quicker than it has. You know, I mean, really, it's been in consumers' hands, this iteration of it, since 2016, you know, of the 6-degree freedom PC headsets and stuff. So I don't think anybody is surprised at it, you know, the fact that he said that. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy. But I think we're just now starting to see it starting to take off. But I mean, I think the toll of the last few years, especially on Carmack, has probably taken a toll on him. You know what I mean? Because he's been crazy busy. He's been a lot of the behind the scenes guy, especially with Quest.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
he's been working on Quest for who knows
Grinding
how
it
long.
out,
Yeah, but I mean, he's done some super impressive stuff with Quest. I mean, really, without him, it's hard to say where Quest would be. You know, the performance they're getting out of the Quest for what it is, it's pretty amazing.
But maybe they have all those bases covered. I mean, by now they have to have so many VR employees that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You do have to have that visionary. You do have to have, you know, like a Steve Jobs kind of person leading the way with innovation and direction. But I don't know. It may change. It may not. It's hard to tell at this point. But
so do you think we're going to see Carmack going to work on some kind of AI stuff? I know he was really taken back by it. When he went to Elon Musk stuff and saw, you know, the Neuralink stuff and all that kind of thing. I don't know if we'll see him working on. I have a feeling we might. I mean,
I know we might.
AI already scares a lot of people. If you put Carmack behind working on AI as well, man, that could be.
Yeah, the money of Elon
crazy.
and the brains of him. I mean, that could be a little crazy. Yeah,
but man, that could get wild.
I know, but I don't know. I mean, could it happen? Sure, it could. Yeah. Do I think we need this super group of XVR employees? I do. Yeah. You know, I think there could be something epic come out of that. But, you know, I don't know if it'll happen or not. And people could have parted ways because they don't agree as well. So
yeah, I think some of the earlier stuff was that. And I don't know if that's as much for Carmack. I imagine he's just probably burned out and he needs a break, I think, probably more than anything.
Well, he even said he wants to just take time off and do it at his own pace. So I totally get that. You know, you kind of have to remove yourself and look at it from an outsider's perspective because he's in this tunnel that he can't get out of. Right. You know, you're going down the path that Oculus and Facebook is telling him he needs to, and that is the path. But he wants to, you know, get off at an exit basically. So
yeah, and like you said, there's always something. There's always something else that needs fixed. There's always something else that needs done. You know, it's never finished. You know. So
I get it, and that's always going to be the case with everything. But you know, I think for him being more of on the visionary scale, he needs to look at the big picture instead of the little things. You know.
Yeah. So T-Dub said, Gaben, now is your chance to offer him a job. trying to steal Carmack.
Right? I know, steal him and just steal all the thunder. I know, that would be the dream, I guess. But
so I guess since we're on, man, you got the whole coffee pot and everything. I'm surprised that fits behind the bar there. You could set it on the shelf back behind you or something.
That's true. I guess I could.
But since we're talking about Carmack and Quest stuff, one of the big things that we've known has been coming for a long time, and that is the climb. And we finally got word on a release date and a trailer that actually shows the graphics playing on the Quest as far as we know. Yeah. The release date is what? December... I wrote it down here somewhere. December 3rd. Yeah, December 3rd. Yeah. Let's go ahead and pop this trailer up here.
Yeah, which it's funny because like some of the early stuff doesn't look like it looks like produced stuff. Like the first couple images and video of it. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean that right there. But, I don't know. If that's Quest like running on Quest, it looks pretty good.
I don't know. I can't tell if that's in engine or in game. It's hard.
Yeah, that looks more like it.
That's what I mean.
It's hard to say. Once he starts actually climbing and stuff, and you actually see the gameplay, I think that is actually like this here. I believe is in the Quest. I mean, this is all
that's going to be
Quest
in game
footage, and it looks impressive for running on the Quest. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So one thing I was curious about, I know other people have mentioned, is if maybe this got pushed back, and I don't think so now with the December release date, but I was thinking maybe they were going to do something with the hand tracking for this game. You know what I mean? And I thought that would be pretty cool for this game to have hand tracking, use hand tracking instead of the controllers.
That would be.
But that's still something they could add down the road. I think that hand tracking update's going to come out next year, and this would be a good game. I feel like, because you don't really need any button input for this game other than just seeing you close your hand to grip to climb.
I feel like this is just Oculus's big demo game. You know what I mean? I really do.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's almost how it started in a sense.
In Best Buy and stuff.
Yeah, this was the first thing. This is one of the options that you got to play when you did the demo in Best Buy back on CV1, back in the day. And this is what I did. I did the climb. And it's a pretty cool game. It's never anything that I super got into on the Rift. I played it for a while, but it was never anything that I kept coming back to. I don't know. It's kind of a cool tech demo. It's something cool that you show people, but I guess maybe I'll get into it more on the Quest. I'm not sure.
I think it's good for teaching people how to use the grip controls, because a lot of people don't understand that and how to open their hand and grab stuff. And that's kind of an easy, just repetitive, doing the same thing. And I think that helps.
True. But I mean, even take it a step easier. If they got, if they have the hand tracking, you don't have. I mean, that should be second nature. Anybody should be able to put the headset on, be able to climb. You shouldn't have to try to figure out any kind of button press or which button you're pulling to grip or anything.
True. Good point. I actually don't even own this game. I did demo it a long time ago for fun at a Best Buy, and I never really felt the need to want to get back. I mean, I felt like I played better stuff at the time, even.
I mean, it's cool. I did buy it. I do have it on the Rift store, but they haven't said anything about cross-buy, did they? I don't think it's going to be cross-buy.
They haven't. That's what somebody was actually saying in chat too. They were hoping it was cross-buy.
Oh, yeah, somebody did say
I guess Upload may have reported it might be, but I don't think there's nothing official.
That would be cool. Since I already have it on Rift, that would be pretty neat. But I feel like that game was so early that I feel like either way, there should be a whole new influx of people, especially on Quest that have never played it, that'll be picking that game up. And that's a game a lot of people have been excited about. A lot of people were curious why we didn't see anything, at OC6 about that game. So
I feel like that should have been one of their initial releases on Quest. I mean, the climb had been out for so long.
I have a feeling they wanted it to be, and that was part of their plan. Something happened. I'm not exactly sure what, but I have to imagine that was planned to be. I mean, would have been a perfect game. In a sense, I feel like to release on Quest. I mean, even bundled, they should have bundled it. But
somebody in chat was saying they played it before the Touch came out, but I actually thought this came out in conjunction with Touch.
How do you play it
they didn't have. Maybe they just didn't have Touch at the time.
I didn't even know you could play it without Touch. Honestly, how would you do that?
Gamepad, it'd have to be.
I
don't know.
Super weird. Yeah, I don't know. I've never played it on a gamepad. I didn't know that was possible.
I actually thought it released like in bundle with.
Yeah, I think it did come out the same time around Touch that it came out. But that like we said, that was one of their things that they showcased the Touch. Also, the Fisherman's Tale is coming to Quest November 27th, and that won Game of the Year award on the one gaming show or award show. I think was that last week? It was this week. Last week? I think it was this week. Yeah. So that's supposed to come on November 27th, so that's not too far away. So that should be a pretty cool one on the Quest.
Oh, man. They're talking about heights and stuff in chat, too, and like how the climb gives you that feeling and stuff. Ooh, I'll talk about it here later, but
Stormland.
I got that feeling in Stormland, man. Again.
Yeah.
Got those goosebumps.
We'll definitely get into that. So,
man, it's hard not
Paolo Triani said the climb is cross-buy, so that'll be awesome if that is cross-buy.
Yeah,
that'll be
that
great.
is.
That'd be great. So
I really do hope so.
Pretty awesome. Do you want to get into Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets? That was another pretty big release. It was kind of everything that got released this week was kind of a little bit overshadowed by Stormland. I mean, I think that was the huge thing, but this was still a big game. I mean, this has got, a lot of really good reviews and stuff from the early people that tested it.
And it's totally a different market. It's totally a different style of game. People buying Stormland probably wouldn't buy this, except I would actually recommend it. I was very pleasantly surprised with this game. I played it. And going into it, I thought, okay, it's going to be like a kid's game or something. I don't know. It really grabbed me, and I didn't want to stop playing it. It was a really good puzzle game.
It really is.
What I thought was going to be easy wasn't always easy. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I
I
really
mean,
liked it.
some of the puzzles are easy, and some of them are a little bit more challenging. But I didn't find any
Sure.
of them so challenging that you're never
Right.
gonna be able to figure out. Like some puzzle games are pretty tough, and it was doable, but it was still a challenge. But I mean, it was just really, really well done. I mean, the graphics
Yeah.
was done, the voice character, the voice acting and stuff was really good. I mean, it was just
Music.
yeah, the
Music was very
music, yeah,
good.
the backbone of the
Yep.
music,
Well
it was really
produced.
good. I mean, it was a really, really well done game. And I know we both talked
Yeah.
about our wives, getting our wives into this game because we really feel like this is something they would enjoy, as
Oh
well
yeah.
as kids. Like when I first saw this trailer, I never really paid a whole lot of attention to this game because I was like, that's, I like shooter games
Sure.
and blowing stuff up in VR. And this wasn't something that really caught my attention. But once I actually got into the game, I really was impressed. And I spent
I know.
more time than what I planned in there figuring out these little puzzles and stuff. And I mean, it's really just a very well done, cute kind of a game, and it's the model that they did this where you're basically moving the little world kind of thing around to find the hidden items and the hidden objects, the hidden pets that you've lost. It's a really cool model, and it's something you're never gonna have to worry about motion sickness or anything like that. So for new people into VR, I feel like this is gonna blow them away.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. There's the controls to it. There basically are no controls you need to learn.
Right.
It's basically trigger and you can spin the world, interact with all the objects, move stuff, pick them up, do all of that without ever having to do another button press, basically, which
Right.
is great. That means it's easy to get into. You don't have to think about controls, even if you're new to VR, which is
Yeah.
awesome for first timers. So this would definitely be on my high
So fun.
recommendation for like a first time buy on the Quest.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
I believe this is cross-buy as well. This is cross-buy with Rift
Yep.
and Quest. So I've actually only played the PC version. You played the Quest version, right?
I did. Yep, I
So-
did play on Quest.
Graphically and everything, it looked good on Quest. Everything still
Looked
looked
perfect.
really good. Yeah,
Yep,
'cause
ran great. Looks great.
Yeah,
Yep,
on
no different.
PC it ran really, really well. I
Yep.
mean, this is really like we kind of talked about this being a relaxing game. This is a game where you can just sit down, after a long day, and it's just, I mean,
Yep.
it sounds silly, but it just puts you in a good mood. Like it just gives you that happy feeling, and you can just relax and
It does.
enjoy some VR. A lot of times in VR, we're moving all around, we're sweating, we're, getting somewhat of a workout. This is more of just a chill, relax, cool atmosphere, cool background music. I mean, it was really a really, really well done game.
Actually, the VR Mang in chat is basically our resident game tester. He loves to like try games out and test games, and he even said it's a solid game, and
It
is.
really is.
It plays well. It's a really good game. I have no fear putting somebody in it, and I want to get back into it. So that says a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, playing what we play and the depth of stuff that we like.
Yeah.
I
we were playing Stormland this week, and this is
Right.
still a game that was, extremely impressive. It really was. The puzzles are a lot of fun. And there's even when you solve the puzzles, there's even little hidden coins all throughout the little world and that you can try to find. And this one was really cool. This is actually the second map. And,
So did you try? I'm not going to give too much away, but did you use the hairdryer?
I used the hairdryer for like an hour.
Did you use it on all the snow?
I
Did you
melted
figure that out?
everything. I melted everything.
know,
I think
me
I
too.
showed some of it in this video, and there might be some
you-
spoilers in this video a little bit, but
Did you know that there was like a snow shaker?
yeah,
And
that's how you
could
make the
put the
snowballs.
snow back? You could
Yeah,
put the
I
snow
figured
back
that out
though on the-
afterwards. Yes, I literally went through. Like I was playing with the hairdryer, and I knew that I had like a mission with this hairdryer. I knew there was something that I had to do with it.
Sure.
But I was just so blown away by the fact that I could melt all the snow. I literally
know.
went across the
Right,
whole
right.
map and was pretty much melting all the snow. And then later I realized I could add the snow back in with the snow
know.
shaker. And at first I was a little confused because I thought the shaker was going to melt the snow because I thought it was salt. I thought it was a salt
right.
shaker, but then I realized I think it has a snowflake on the side of it. But yeah, the hairdryer was one of my most
good.
favorite things. I spent
know,
way
it's
too
so
much
cool.
time playing with the hairdryer, and it was
I know, me too.
it was kind of ridiculous.
And
but
the
it was a
the
blast.
train looks so cool. Like you can look
Yeah.
through to the tunnels line up, like right there, and you can actually look through them all the way and see the train coming. Like it's the little things that this game does that
Yeah.
do make it fun. Like I'm not playing this game up. Like this
Yeah,
is
me neither.
it's a cool game. Like,
Honestly,
it's
this
fun.
was not even a game that I really planned on buying. Like I said, I
Exactly.
didn't really. I saw it, the early trailers, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Be cool for kids and stuff. I never paid it much mind, in all
Yep.
honesty, and I was really pleasantly surprised after jumping in this. I don't think anybody would be disappointed in this game. I'm curious if a gaming science teacher. I'm curious if she has picked this up. or played
She
this
needs
yet.
to, if not,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like this is an excellent game, and even for she's a science teacher. Even for kids in school and stuff, I feel like this is like I don't know. This would be a great reward for kids when they're really, really good. They get to play this game for 10
And it's a teaching thing too for young kids even. I mean, stuff like this really can be used for something.
I mean, it does make you think. I mean, it makes you think on, there's little puzzles you got to figure out. And like you said, I mean, they weren't all super easy. I mean, we're adults, and there was still times where it took me a little while to figure certain things out.
Like everything's interactive. Like you can knock the berries off the bushes, the icicles you can break, like everything.
It seems so small, but in VR, that stuff really matters.
The coolest thing is there is one it's for like an aquarium, but there's an island you're looking at in water, and there's this shower head, and I flipped the shower head like the lever on it, and it started running, and the water starts filling up, and you're like, uh-oh, like I'm going under, like the water's coming up, and your whole head goes underwater in the island, and there's like a submarine down there, and everything's underwater. It's really cool, just a cool experience.
Here's the
I won't go past that, but
I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this hairdryer? So at first I'm kind of just looking around, and then I realized that everything melts, and I'm like, this for some reason just felt like a really cool experience. I'm like, I'm like going crazy with it.
You're like erasing everything. Like you didn't just do one little area. You're like going.
I'm kind of glad that I wasn't the only one that did this. I really thought that maybe I was the only one that had this much fun with the hairdryer, but to know that you did too makes me feel a little better.
The other thing is this actually makes for a really good seated game as well. I didn't play it seated, but you don't have to do anything other than lean. Like maybe to look in at stuff or move around, but that's it. So if you are seated or want to play seated, then great
this would
game
probably actually be a better game seated, I think, than
it probably would.
It would be
sure.
Except
I like to kind of move around a lot. But,
I do too. I think next time I play this though, I will play seated, and that's one thing that's great about it on the Quest is that you can sit on the couch, and like my chair in the office, the VR room isn't as comfortable as the couch is downstairs.
Or
and it actually took me a while to figure out what to do with that acorn.
I know melting everything. This is ridiculous.
I melted all kinds of stuff. I was like, I know I'm supposed to do something with this acorn. I was like, but I have no idea what. It took me a little while. I was trying to break it. I tried everything. But so if you haven't picked this game up, definitely give it a shot. Oh, this is where I realized I could add snow back to everything.
Right, there you go. That's awesome. Even PD was saying, he said it was short but sweet, but sadly overshadowed by Stormland.
Right.
And I agree, it's tough to come out with a big name game like that. But I think for me, this doesn't really fall into the same category.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And also, there's a lot of people on Quest right now that only have the Quest that can't play Stormland yet, unless they're trying to wirelessly stream it, through virtual desktop or something like that. But
exactly.
So it's an excellent time to pick this game up. I don't think anybody will be disappointed in this one. I think it's an excellent game. So.
Especially with the holidays, I'll say it again. Let everyone come over and try it. I mean, you have to. This is the holiday for VR.
Yeah,
so
I think this is. I think it's 5 worlds right now. I believe it's 5 worlds total. I haven't played the whole thing yet, but
oh my gosh, chat kills me. Oh my gosh. When I played this, I thought I was losing my masculinity. I was saying cutesy and so beautifully.
That was all I could keep saying was how cute it was. And cute isn't really a word that I normally use, but that was the only word that I could possibly think of to kind of explain this is just how cute it is. Like, and I kept saying that. It sounds ridiculous, but
cute should only be saved for kittens and babies. That's all I'm going to say.
That's probably true. That is probably true. But definitely pick that up. If you do pick it up, let us know what you think in the comments and stuff, because I was really impressed. I was super impressed.
I was too. I'm glad everyone in chat too that has played it agrees, because I thought maybe I was just having a moment like that, but it is. It
is awesome. Yep. So while we're on the holiday topic real quick, and Christmas time, we talked about, let me see, where is it at? Make sure I click the right thing here. So we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Super excited about this game for whatever reason. We were really impressed with this, and we actually have access to it right now. We haven't jumped in yet. We need to. This week's been nuts with all the releases.
My bad thing is, as much as I want to, I have a problem celebrating Christmas too early.
Before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It comes after Thanksgiving.
Yes, the day after. Black Friday is day one.
This is another great one to show, though, people around Christmas time when they come to your house. And the reason we're talking about this again real quick is because we do have a key to give away. So we want somebody to be able to play this game and get into it for the holidays and stuff. They're coming so fast. The time moves so fast. So if you missed that show, this is a Steam game that is just called Santa's Visit, and basically you play Santa Claus, and they asked for ideas too. We gave them some ideas that we had of things we would like to do inside the game, be able to come down the chimney, do all kinds of cool stuff. So they are open to ideas, so we're really hoping they add some of the stuff that we talked about.
I still think the multi-Santa idea would be amazing.
Well, we did tell them about a multiplayer aspect. We talked about that, where you could have Santa Claus and helper elves. So it'll be interesting to see if they add some of that stuff in. But
I mean, wouldn't it be epic to have like mall Santas and have like 20 of them in a mall
fighting? It's like drunken bar fight, but drunken Santa fight in the mall.
Oh, stop it!
This is my shift.
Just please employ us for ideas. Like, great. Oh no, we'll start making games. I'm quitting this.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh,
have you ever played that one game? I can't remember what it's called. Halo. Have you ever heard of Halo?
No. Hollow.
Hollow.
I think
maybe that's how you say it. Hollow. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hollow. Have you ever played Hollow before? I'm sure everybody has heard of Halo.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah, this is actually, I think Halo was what got me into gaming with you.
Absolutely
like back in after Super Nintendo
you were like,
and all those
nope,
days.
Don't want to play anything. Don't like games.
Yeah,
rather work on cars. Nope, wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
like,
super into cars.
That's cool. I'll play. Like I'm good. And you're watching. You're like, all right, yeah, this is kind of cool. And it's like, I'll try.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it.
What was that? That was on regular Xbox. That was one of the first Halos. Like maybe Halo 2. I think it was Halo 2.
No, I think it was on the 360, maybe.
No, we played it on the regular Xbox, but we really got into it on the 360. Because
I ended
up buying a 360.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think you jumped in. I was playing the original Halo networked, running through a PC,
right.
I think is what it was.
Because we were playing
I think Halo 2 was out at the time, but we were playing the original one networked, or the second one networked.
I think it was
like
the
that.
second one. Or something. Yeah. I don't remember, but I remember it was super hard for me using the thumbsticks because I hadn't been into gaming for a while. There was a time period where I didn't do any gaming, and using the two thumbsticks, one to rotationally move, one to move your head and gun. It took me a while. I remember kind of just staring at the ceiling, spinning around, like, how do you do this?
Yeah, running around with a gun, looking up the whole time.
Yeah. But I did get the hang of it, and we spent a lot of time playing Halo, probably more than we should have. But
Halo's good.
So, the maker of the Alien Isolation mod for VR has put out on his Twitter that he's been working on a Halo Reach mod.
I was like not retweeting, but linking it to other people, and I'm like, yep, it's time. Like, here it is, finally. It's coming.
Yep. So this is because the reason this is all coming about is because this is about to be released on PC. So this game is going to be released on PC. I forget the date, December something.
I don't know. Yeah, reaches.
So it's coming to PC, and he actually has had access to this already, that he's been working on this. And in this video, he's showing that they have the positional head tracking working in Halo Reach.
Which I loved Reach. When it came out, it was kind of like the bastard Halo at the time. Like, nobody really played it. It was out. It kind of flopped. I think they had some network issues with it in the beginning.
And that was when Call of Duty was crazy popular, right? Around the same time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the early stuff. Yeah, and maybe, what was the other one?
Battlefield?
The other big one. Battlefield. Yeah, it might have been one of the first Battlefields. That might have been after. But yeah, I loved Reach. The guns in it were new, and people didn't like that. That was kind of a big turnoff for people. But this, would be, a dream for me, literally.
Yeah. So, we know he's capable. We know some of the other stuff that his team, I don't know how many guys exactly it is.
Right. But, it's not just a demo or somebody messing with people. And that's why he's actually showing the headset and the tracking.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people see the video and they're like, oh, okay, someone's just, acting like it. But no, this is legit, even though there's no visuals in the headset. But he does have the tracking working.
Yeah, and he hasn't promised anything. He hasn't promised that this is going to be coming. Basically, he's just experimenting. That, and this is the first step of the experimentation, is getting the head tracking working. And so, if this could come about, this could be pretty big. Halo is, a huge franchise. It's something that I think a lot of people would get super excited about and be behind this. So,
Again,
Halo
this would be a game changer for VR. People would run out and buy VR to probably play this.
Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah, that's true. They did that little demo thing. Halo did a little demo thing a long time ago, and it was just something silly, like where you were in a atmosphere. I can't remember. I think you could shoot like a gun.
It was a warthog or something.
Yeah, like it wasn't any kind of gameplay. So if we could actually get like a full Halo Reach game,
my God.
and I wonder if this would have multiplayer. Hopefully, if he gets this working, hopefully it'll have the multiplayer aspect.
I don't care if it doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't. I do not care if it doesn't. It doesn't matter to me. I would play through this from front to back in VR.
I hope that it does, though. But we see like with the GTA mods and stuff, you can't get online with that, without being banned and stuff. So I don't know how that'll work. I'm guessing it probably won't be online, but still, to be able to play the full game of Halo Reach in VR would be epic.
Yep. Even if it was gamepad, even if he doesn't get hand tracking working, it was gamepad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care for this because
Yeah.
I know all the Halo controls like the back of my hand on a gamepad.
I'm
So
curious if maybe if maybe Halo isn't gonna back this somehow. You know, maybe if they're not employing him in a sense to help him get this, because I mean, I don't think they're against VR. You know, since we see him kind of dabble in it a little bit. But I mean, if he already has access to the game and all of that stuff, you know, how long has he been working on it? Maybe this has been something that's been in the works that they know about, and it's not just an, you know, somebody.
Yeah, maybe they
them.
don't want official support and don't care. That maybe
Right, but
that
maybe
could be
they're
too.
helping him do it, or yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool if that was the case.
Yeah, I know.
I was laughing earlier because Jarillo said Halo Kitty with a question mark.
Oh man, yeah. So, oh no, I think it disappeared. But somebody said people still care about Halo? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean it's not as big as it used to be, but there's definitely still people that care about Halo for sure. I mean, I'm sure there's still people that play it all the time.
I grew up with Halo, so I mean, to me, it was. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, LAN parties and everything with Halo, it was great, great fun. Screaming at each other from room to room. So
the
good.
original multiplayer. Games basically in a sense.
So awesome. It is. I mean, that's what built my social gameplay was playing Halo.
Yeah.
I mean, with other people. It was amazing. Dorm rooms back and forth, hooked on the same network. Yep. I mean, just so cool. I know. Hopefully we hear more about it soon. If it'd be out, if they could get something out by the holidays working on this.
Yeah. I think it releases on PC in December. I can't remember the exact date. I had it written down somewhere, but
it'd be the dream. That would be the dream.
Yep, that would be pretty cool. So
yeah, no.
Possibly coming. We will see. But that was on Twitter, so you can see a lot of that on Twitter. And there was a couple other videos that they had too. He did a couple little clips, but it was all kind of like that, showing that basically. But yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute, that's Halo. Like that looks like Halo in the video, and it was. That was.
I know. I thought it was just like a mock demo, somebody screwing around, but then it actually had, some backing of who it was and stuff. So hey, I'm all in. I believe it now, so that's awesome.
True that.
So how about Zero Caliber, man? You got a little bit of news, maybe not really
nothing
official,
set in stone,
but sort of official.
Yeah. Right. So Zero Caliber, excellent game. We talked about it a couple times on here. They update it all the time. They're constantly adding maps and other things. Yep. And one thing that they have talked about since the beginning is a PvP mode, and that is one of the things obviously we really like, but. They wanted to try to get some open beta testing for PvP, and their plan was to try to do December. And right now they said it's looking most likely like January, but they are going to do a public PvP beta test. So hopefully, we can all get in on that and check that out. I think that game will be pretty awesome in PvP. And they said that they have dedicated servers that they've been working on perfecting and stuff for a while now. So they just want to make sure it all works really good before it's a full PvP release. So. Which
I think is good because it's a solid game. Mm-hmm. Like that game does play really well, except I just wish it had PvP. Yeah. I mean, I think in the beginning, because they said they were going to have it, and then after release it was coming soon, it's been in my head that that's what it needs. Yeah. Like maybe if it released and I didn't know that in the beginning,
I mean, we bought the game. We bought the game day one, thinking that it might have the co-op PvP. Right off the bat, you know what I mean? Like within really quick, and we kept checking, and it wasn't coming. We're like, what is going on? But
I know.
So
I know.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, their maps and everything. I mean, they have a ton of stuff in there now. Yeah. The guns. I really like showing people that gun room in there. Like people that are into like first-person shooters want to check out VR. I'm like, here,
just walls
put you in that room, go play.
Yeah,
exactly. Grab some guns, grab some attachments, go to the shooting range. And they're just awestruck by it. Yep. That's kind of my demo room for VR for first-person shooters. But that's just what it's missing, and I think it could be a big game. I think it still is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people still play it. They do have co-op missions where you can go with other people, but yeah.
So, do you think it's too far removed now from its release that it's not going to do much for it? Or do you think it'll bring players in?
I think it'll bring players in. I think it will for us. I think we'll definitely go in to check it out. I think the hard part right now is I think once, we get Pavlov and contractors and all that stuff on Quest, and if that's crossplay, if all those become crossplay or any of them become crossplay, I think that is going to be there's going to be a lot of people playing those. So, Zero Caliber isn't on Quest. If games like Contractors and stuff have crossplay and it's going to, do a big bump in the player base, I mean, I know we're going to be jumping back on contractors right away.
Oh, yeah.
If it's cross-play and we got a bunch of new people to play with. I know. So that's the hard thing right now. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of really good ones. There's a lot of really good PvP shooters right now. So it's a hard space. It's a hard market. And none of them, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah.
I know.
But I'll definitely jump in there. I mean,
I haven't checked lately VRLFG just to see the stats on like who's playing what in the last week or two. But yeah, I mean, Pavlov still is just killing it.
And Onward just did another update. They did an update a couple weeks ago.
Maps.
Oh yeah, they just did. I think mine just updated again, I believe. So
it did. Yeah, they did a ton of updates with gun sounds, especially. They had a bunch of new gun sounds.
And another one is Seeking Dawn just had a big update, and they just added Valve Index support. That was one of the games,
which is awesome.
Yeah, we picked that up on sale right around the time the Index came out. We're like, oh, let's jump into this game. We haven't played this game together, and neither one of us could. We were on the Index, and we were like, it's not working.
$7 or something.
Yeah, we got it crazy cheap on a sale. I don't remember what sale it was, but
yeah. I'm glad I kept it though too, because we went in and the Index worked with it, but the
controls weren't right. Yeah, but it looked awesome. It looked awesome. The game
and a lot of the controls did actually work, but there was like a menu button, or you couldn't get past a point, and then that was kind of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad to get back in there now and actually see it.
For sure.
It reminds me a little of Stormland. Can we talk about Stormland yet?
No.
Oh, come on.
First of all, let's talk about this real quick. Walking Dead Onslaught is delayed until 2020. So they originally were talking about releasing this in 2019. It was supposed to come out this year. They put this out, I think, on Twitter. Twitter's where I saw this. So I'm okay with it. Right now we have so many big games, so many games to play. I still haven't even beat Asgard's Wrath. I haven't even spent enough time in there yet. Now Stormland is out. Pistol Whip came out. I still play Pistol Whip. I'm still loving Pistol Whip.
Look, this is a good problem for us to have, though. Yeah. Think about what it was 2 years ago. It was like, okay, we haven't had anything new in a month or two.
We bought everything.
Like, when's something coming? Yeah,
we bought everything that came out, hoping it would be good, and some of it was, and some of it was terrible. But yeah, so I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this waiting until 2020. I am excited about the game, but we have so much other stuff to play right now. If this comes out, if this came out, this Thursday, I would be kind of disappointed because I'm still in Stormland and I want to spend some more time in there. I want to spend some more time in Asgard's Wrath. So I need some time to get some of these bigger games, some more time in there to get back into something.
Well, and we know they're going to put out a polished product too. That's the best thing.
That's what they said. They're striving to deliver high quality. So Steve XM just sent a $2 super chat.
It's awesome.
And he said, "I'll take a black coffee, please." Cheers. Well, we better get back to the coffee shop then.
Right. He probably needs it with all his working out and stuff lately. Oh my gosh, that's all he's been doing. Oh, it's crazy. I know.
Yeah, he's been doing a workout every day, streaming that every day. So if you do want to check that out, check out his channel. You can click him right there in the chat, Steve XM. So it's pretty cool. He's actually, me and my wife actually started doing a 30-minute workout every day because of what he started. He gave me the idea, and we've been doing a 30-minute workout every day, which has been kicking my butt at least 30 minutes. And I've been playing a lot of Thrill of the Fight, and
it's so easy. It's so easy to pass the time.
Yeah.
That's
30
why
minutes.
It's so good.
Yeah, 30 minutes of a regular workout, or 30 minutes on a treadmill. Sometimes I want to kill myself, but 30 minutes in Thrill of the Fight or something like that, Beat Saber, Box VR, the time goes by and I'm having fun and I don't mind. Speaking of that, real quick, before we jump into Stormland, let me see. So, talking about Thrill of the Fight, I saw this video. It's kind of cracking me up. So this is something that mounts on the headset, obviously a prototype, and basically gives impacts and the feeling of impact. And one of the things they talked about was the Thrill of the Fight. They show it in here, and the person's getting punched, and it's pretty funny.
It's amazing.
Right here. So it actually gives impacts to the headset, which is awesome. Oh my god.
It's amazing.
And TD Maker just donated $3 so we could get that product for
Cheers, TD Maker. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Much
That's
appreciated.
awesome. So I think he actually did a sticker. I think that is the new thing. Yeah, and I don't even know how those work yet. I'm not sure if anybody else has sent one of those stickers
yet. That's the first I've seen. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. So it's basically just a little, I don't know, a little pear guy or something giving a thumbs up. So definitely appreciate that. That is awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. And another super chat from Rizzle. Much appreciated, Rizzle, man.
Double late and a side of VR. Oh, double latte. Maybe he means latte?
Double latte?
Yeah,
true. You can't have the little asterisk over it.
Orders. I think we need to add like an animation in here of like when somebody does that, like a barista walks up and like pours a coffee from the thing.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So cool. Don't know how to do that, but maybe we'll.
I'm actually drinking Pete's coffee today, which is it's so good. Nice. So great. Which is the which one is it? Which is I can't think of the name of it.
Major Dickinson's blend. That's
Major Dickinson, yeah.
Yeah, great coffee.
Which actually,
Great coffee.
I said I'm excited too. I did buy their holiday blend as well, and
Yeah, I
oh
gotta
man,
pick
does
that
it
up.
smell good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
I've
good.
been,
I haven't tried it yet.
I've been on this local place called Roastology, and I think I've posted a couple pictures on the Discord. Oh, it's so good. This one coffee called Dark Matter. It is like my favorite thing right now. It's amazing. So they're actually moving locations. They're moving more to the like downtown area, and they have a whole new building that they're doing. And I'm hoping if it all works out, I want to do a 180 video in there, a 180 VR video, and do kind of an interview with the brewmaster. I don't know if they're called that.
Can we have smell-o-vision with that? That'd be amazing.
Now that might be a case where I would like smell-o-vision. So
right, I know.
Yeah, I'm not
The
sure
one
why
time where it
Rizzles
actually
Rocks animation didn't play. I'm not sure if it was because we were switching
Right,
screens. I'm
too
not
close.
sure what happened. So.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah, so that was awesome.
Man,
Oh man, they're coming through like crazy today.
The VR man.
Don't spend it
Jeez,
all in
man.
one place. So.
Much appreciated, man.
We love it.
Oh,
That's awesome.
and your
Cheers.
package isn't on the way yet, but I do have it together, by the way.
What package?
Just update for him. Little care package. He is one of our longtime supporters and become good friend. So I have a couple things I'm going to send him. So.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, we've played with him a couple times in VR, and we do need to do another.
Yeah.
Somebody else asked about a Poker Stars night or something. We will do that again for sure. I really wish Stormland had 4 people.
The last time, and I think I might have said this before, I actually had an adult beverage sitting on the coffee table in front of me when we were playing Poker Stars. And funny enough, I had one sitting in VR in front of me,
yeah.
right? So I had the VR one in the headset sitting out pretty far on the table, and I actually went to grab my real beverage and forgot I was grabbing the virtual one, right? So I reached out for it and I hit the real one and knocked it over, and I'm like, oh geez. So everyone's like, what the heck was that? So yeah, it was pretty funny though.
Yeah, it's crazy how that we need to get to where it can track that kind of stuff. Like put the coffee mug, put the beer bottle, you know what I mean, all to where it'd be 1-to-1. You could grab it off.
I guess you could if you had a Vive tracker and made a coaster out of it. You probably could in a sense, but
in a sense, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, it'd be really cool. So you want to get into this Stormland?
Yes, I want to get into it. How about that thumbnail? Everyone was making fun, or not making fun of it, but talking
laughing about it. We try to be a little ridiculous sometimes just because it's funny.
We try not to be too ridiculous, probably.
Yeah.
But honestly, that is exactly what happens when you play co-op with Sean. You think, oh yeah, we're doing something together and stuff, and all of a sudden he's like, grenade to your back. Like the second you walk away from him, he's just like
never do that.
massacring you.
I would never do that.
He's very fitting, I will say that.
I'm sure the VR mag actually saw that when we were playing with him in No Man's Sky. We were all in No Man's Sky together back in the day, and I was doing some of that stuff. So.
Oh yeah, Sean will build you into a building before you know it.
Yeah.
Don't play with Sean.
And Jason said real quick, Vivecraft this weekend. He said I can spin my server up. So we added a Vivecraft game chat and voice chat in our Discord, and him and his wife were in there last week, I believe. So he's going to get back in there this weekend if you want to play with them. So let's talk a little bit about Stormland. I think this is the biggest news of the week. And I actually recorded my initial gameplay. This is the first time I ever went into the game. Good. I just went ahead and recorded it. And this is basically a tutorial. You know, the first 30 minutes to an hour almost is probably mainly a tutorial, but it is gameplay. And what do you think? What do you think of the game?
It's amazing. I do love it. You know, there were some people that had some mixed thoughts, mixed reviews on it. I think it's unbelievable. I really do. I don't think there's anything about it yet that I don't like. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this whole overtime thing. I think they're going to run it a little bit like Destiny did, where you get stuff added in, you know, every week.
I believe it's every week. Yeah. And the thing that concerns me, what I heard is that every week you lose your
that
upgrades.
I haven't heard,
and I'm not sure about that. If anybody knows for sure, but from what I like, you upgrade your body or your robot body. There's all kinds of upgrades you can do. There's all kinds of gun upgrades. The game is absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing. I played it on the Rift S. You played it on the Index. We'll get into that a little bit, but it looks amazing. I mean, the scope of the worlds look huge. I mean, the interactions, like the grabbing the things and twisting, they made it feel so natural. Like the way your hand locks on, and it feels smooth, and it feels like you're actually doing that item. I do have some gripes about the game. I'm not all positive. I absolutely love the game. I'm going to continue to play it, but I think that the gunplay and stuff is lacking. And maybe some people are different because we play a lot of gun games. You know, we play a lot of contractors and.
You know, and I didn't want to get into it because we kind of brushed into this personally earlier, and I wanted to save it for here and today. But you realize like the guns have levels.
They
So
do.
maybe we're just in the beginning stages of the guns and getting higher level guns and different types of guns. And maybe the ones that we have are just generic early guns.
Yeah, but even when
And
you
I
level
know
the gun
Destiny
up,
operates that way though.
yeah, but even when you level the gun up, it's still basically the same game. I mean, the same gun, and it doesn't even really look
True.
that much different.
Well,
It's just the next
right.
level. Like they didn't really
True.
change, make it a whole lot different. And there's only so many guns. You know, it's not a massive, and that's something they can add in. I don't know if they will,
Right.
but they can add in more kinds of guns. You know, more attachments and stuff. But the gunplay to me, I mean, honestly, the biggest difficulty factor of this game is running out of ammo. That was what
Yeah.
got me killed
Right.
every time. The only time I died is because I ran out of ammo, not because you know.
And you can go to the workstations in it though and get more ammo. And there's
you
usually
can.
one close
And
and
you
it's on
can.
your radar, but yeah.
But that was the hardest part about the game to me. That
Right.
was the
I
hardest
wish
part
you
was
could
the ammo.
scavenge. I wish, and I don't think you can break apart a gun and get
So
ammo.
I
from
think it
can you?
does. When you break apart the
Does
gun,
it?
you get the resources like the alloy or whatever it
didn't
is in the
think
gun, and I think
yeah.
it does give you some ammo. What I did is that I would use my gun, and then when I would kill the people, I would take their gun, break my gun apart, you know, because I knew that hopefully their gun had more ammo. But that's my only real gripe at this time, and I haven't got enough into the game. I mean, we've played enough to unlock the multiplayer and all that kind of stuff, and I've kind of taken my time because I like scavenging, you know, and I like looking
Oh,
around
absolutely.
and
I do
finding
too.
stuff, finding the resources, but I mean the scope and the graphics and stuff of the game really, really are good. The mechanics of interaction with things. And one thing we talked about that was so cool, and we heard this from people that played the game early at some of the trade shows and stuff, was the ripping off your arm.
Yeah.
Really
Yep.
cool feeling
Sure.
in VR. My only gripe about it is that they left a like hologram
I know.
arm there. I wish they
thing I
would do
said.
away with that, because when you actually grab your arm and you pull it off, if you didn't see an arm there, your brain would almost a little bit be
know.
tricked into being like, I literally just ripped my arm off. But there's
And
a
wouldn't it be
disconnect there
cool
when
if
you
you were
still see it.
like, say you pulled your arm off, right? And you were holding it with the other hand and you moved your fingers and they still moved.
Yeah.
Stuff like that
Yeah,
could have been
that's
amazing,
right.
you know?
That I
But
didn't quite
I get it.
understand why they did that. Like I was really looking forward to that in this game because I heard so many people
Sure.
talk about it, and I was like, I got to the part and I was like, yes, I get to rip my arm off. I ripped
know.
my arm off, and then I looked down and I was like, oh, but it's still there. Like you still see
know.
the hologram. Like I totally feel like if they would have done away with that, it really would have tricked you into being like, holy crap, I just ripped my arm off. Like I'm looking down,
that
my
part
arm's
was
not
still
there.
amazing.
It
though.
was.
I don't want to
It
take
was
away
still
from that
cool.
because I still thought it was really cool. And there were a lot of parts in here that were like, that's it. Like when you walk into the base, and as you see now, and in the video, it looks horrible, like it's degrading. But you walk in at a point and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, you have like flashbacks and stuff in the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's like a memory of it. And
Right.
I stood there and I'm like, wow, this looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh yeah, there was multiple times when I would just
Yeah.
stand there and look around. Like, I mean, there's a lot of detail added into the game that it is absolutely amazing.
Yep. And like
this
the
is
character
part.
interactions when you're talking or they're talking to you, it doesn't matter where you're standing. Like they're looking at you, like you feel like they're addressing you.
Right.
Like I try moving around and stuff and they track you. Really, it's really done well. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's a storyline that you can follow or you don't have to, which I like. I like those options. But it does feel a little bit lost at times. Does that make sense? Like I feel like sometimes that path isn't as direct as it could be if you want to play a storyline. And I know you have the objectives on your hand and stuff, but I don't know. I think you at a point too had an issue keeping going, right?
Keeping going with what? Sorry, I was reading chat. I got distracted.
Well, like the storyline. So there was
Yeah,
a
there was a
point
couple
where like
times.
sometimes I didn't know what to do exactly, even though it told me and I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that was the part where I got back to this main area, and that was after I found my friend, and he came back, and I got the AR scan kind of a deal. And you were supposed to scan the resources, and then you were supposed to upgrade your body. And I already spent both of the flora things. I can't remember what they were called.
Right.
In the previous scene. And so then I didn't think I had any more money, but it kept wanting me to do that. And here you had like health points. I can't remember what it was called now. And there was something else that you could spend, and that's what I needed to do, I think. But it was kind of weird. There was a part there where I was like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing here to progress. But
Right.
talking about finding the friend, when there's a scene where you get to where you find your first actual person character that's in the game that's not a memory, and you basically fight. He's fighting somebody, you kill him, and you get your friend. And that was like that gave me the chills. Like when I got done, I was like, oh man, it's like for some reason in the game, I literally got the chills, and I was like, there was like an emotional connect where like I just saved my buddy, even though that sounds ridiculous, but
sure. No, I get it. I agree. And for being AI and stuff, you do feel that way because you've already got to know them like in memories, and then you go out and then you find them and stuff, and he's like, okay, I'll meet you back there and stuff, and he's like working on himself, fixing himself, and that's really cool. And then I literally walked off this tower and jumped off.
So
and those
awesome.
moments where you like jump off a building, or like right here there's that platform, the ship where it takes you to another area. That part, the first time I did that and the thrusters go and like you see the world like going down around you and stuff, like right here, this was epic for me. Again, I'm literally getting chills right now just thinking of it because I'm seeing it. And that was super cool. That was amazing. Like here.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that
so cool.
The thing that I love so much about this is when we got these Oculus exclusive titles, like back in the day when we got Robo Recall. Robo Recall was, we were super excited for the game. It was an awesome game, but everybody tried to be too careful. Like when all these games were first coming out and they were figuring out VR, everything was like, we can't do free locomotion. We got to do teleport, And I did a mod in that game where you could use free locomotion, you could jump, and I loved Robo Recall with that mechanic in there. And this one, they pushed the envelope, and I love that.
They have it all.
Free locomotion. Like, I love walking off a building. Like, that is the best feeling ever to me.
And it's ever changing with the upgrades, like because you can do like the boosted jumps and like the shield stuff, or the magnetic, or I know there's all kinds of cool stuff. There's so much stuff,
but I mean, it just feels so good to walk off the building, knowing that you can do and even the climbing aspect. The climbing, you can climb pretty much anything. I know there was a spot where we were trying to find the multiplayer coin or whatever chip.
Attachment.
And you said, there's like a wall, but I don't know how to get up there. You were like, it's just a mountain. And I was like, climb it. And you're like, no, it's not the red thing. And I was like, just climb it. You can climb it. And you're like, what? You can climb anything? Like, I thought it was just the red parts where it like, obviously you're supposed to climb, but like
the forest where you can only climb on certain parts of the wall or whatever. That's what I thought it was. Cause that's where you were like instructed to do that in the tutorial portion of it. So I thought, okay, that's what you climb, cause that's what it's been in VR forever. It's directed. But this was, literally climb everything. And it's done really well.
Yeah.
Like, never did I have a time where I was like, it didn't grab and I fell. If it did, it's because I didn't grab it right, or I didn't do it.
The only time I had an issue with that, it was the one elevator scene where you were supposed to like climb this elevator shaft, and I was trying to climb the whole thing. And what it wanted you to do was to climb to the part where there was an opening and get in, I think. Yeah, there was like, you could actually get into the elevator shaft. You needed to clear some of the stuff away. And I kept trying to climb all the way up, and it was like, I got to a point where like it wasn't working real well. And I was like, what is going on? But I don't know if that was built into the game to try to get me to go back to where it wanted me to go.
There's a little bit of that puzzle aspect, I think, sometimes doing things. They want you to try and do certain things, which is a lot of fun. But I feel like I've only scratched the surface of this.
Yeah, that's me too.
And we played it for a couple hours probably.
Yeah.
And I feel like I only got through one little like playthrough, like that they wanted me to, like interaction with AI and stuff like that. Other than that, then when we got together, we just kind of were running around, screwing around, doing things, which was cool because we kind of came on each other out, I guess I want to call it in the water or clouds or however that is.
Yeah.
And we went flying past each other.
We're like, oh, I'll come to you. And then we were shooting like right past.
Went shooting
past.
And
supposedly there is a way, which we didn't do this yet, where you can go into the multiplayer menu and you can just transport to your friend. So, which I didn't realize that at the time when we were in there. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to just be like, boom, and you connect with each other. So it's cool. Awesome game. There are some things that I hope they do add to the game. And as you progress, we haven't played to where we're getting hopefully some of the harder AI enemies and all that kind of stuff. But
not at all.
It is a little bit. There is some complaints that I have, but man, the game just blows me away though in every other aspect that I just can't wait to get back into it. The movement and the world is what really I think has impressed me so much with this. I love the flying around. And like you said, there's so many upgrades. Like I really want to get like the high jump, like a boost jump and stuff. Because you come with the ability to jump but like right there, I think I jumped, but.
And you don't get the ability to jump right away until you get that little attachment or node, whatever you want to call it.
I don't remember a jump one. I remember the sprint one because I was walking around. I was like, man, I really wish I could sprint. Like I wish I could go faster. You know what I mean? And like right as we were chatting before we had the multiplayer, and I was like, oh, here's a chip right here for sprint. And I was like, and the sprint is quick. You know what I mean? They didn't make it where like it's still not very fast sprinting. It was quick. Like you're moving pretty quick when you sprint. I really enjoyed that. Like that was
I
awesome.
like how the guns actually snap too. If you accidentally let one go or drop one,
Yeah.
it just reattaches back to your hip too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So
It
even like
all feels really good.
It does. I mean, they spend a lot of time on the detail. Like even sticking your hand on the hand readers. Like you stick your hand up there and it kind of snaps to it. And I don't know what it is, but it feels right to me. It feels good.
It does it slow enough that it's not like boom, instantaneous. It's just
but it feels
real slow.
Like it feels. I don't know, something about it. It feels good.
The crates, like I didn't even know you could shoot the crates and stuff.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out too.
I know, or break them. I know.
Yeah.
There's so many little interactions. Oh, little pro tip that I learned. The ships you see flying up above, if you can get up on something high enough and glide out to one and actually get on top of one, there's a really high-powered gun.
Yeah, that was. I remember I was watching
really cool.
you were screen sharing with me at one point in time. Yeah, and you were like, "Can I get on that?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome. There's also crate drops. There's like crate drops that you see the balloons. Yeah, and you shoot the balloon, and then you can go get the items.
Kind of like I would say it looks like a Fortnite balloon, but they don't come down; they stay up.
Yeah, that's what I kept waiting for it to come down, and I realized I actually had to.
Yep.
I
actually tried flying out to one the first time and grabbing onto it, and I couldn't grab it. So you actually have to shoot the balloon, and it comes down. Then you go to this little module and break it, shoot it, and then you get a couple things out of it that are pretty good, usually health, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I feel like we've only scratched the surface. I feel like some people in chat were actually saying that it's not what they thought. Like the direction it was going. I think it's pretty spot on to, I guess, what I had imagined, because I knew it was going to be open world. I knew it was going to have upgrades and, weapon levels and that kind of stuff. So I think it kind of hit it pretty much on the head for me. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, like I said, the only thing that's really been disappointing so far is the gunplay. I think Robin Kester just said combat feels like it's less important than everything to me. And I'm not sure if he's saying that in just this game it feels that way, or if for him personally it feels less important. But
I agree, but I'm wondering if maybe just in the early stages of the game we don't see as much of that yet.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's just you get in, you learn some controls, they put some basic missions in front of you, you kind of choose what you want, and then maybe it progresses harder than that. I hope so, because I hope there's a lot of depth to this game that we're not seeing yet.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they do with these weekly things. That's what I'm really curious to find out about. And I'm gonna be kind of bummed though if I lose all of my updates to my person and I have to go through and do all those again. But man, it just...
they were talking about climbing, and PD was saying you can propel yourself up. And when I learned to do that and climbing, I don't climb anymore. I literally grab and throw it and throw myself up, and then I reach up and grab another one way far up. Like,
so that's faster to do it that way, to get up.
Oh my gosh, it's so much faster.
I haven't done that actually. I've only done that when I get to the top. When I get to the top, then I throw myself up to get onto the platform. But I haven't tried that.
If there's a ledge like way up, like what would look like 2 stories up, I just throw myself up and grab onto it and keep going.
Nice. Yeah, I have to try that. But I love the movement. Like I love flying around. Just I don't know. I just like being able to. You're up at the top of this thing because climbing is a big aspect. There's a lot of places that you have to get through climbing, which you're getting a workout in this game in a sense too. But I just love being able to get to the top and you just, next area I got to go. I walk off the end and I jump down and it just feels so good. They really did you can tell where they focused in this game, the things that they really focused on.
Mechanics. Not gun mechanics.
No, but I mean like the worlds, the interactions with the movement mechanics, you can tell where the focus was really put.
Storms, there's storms in it, and there's those like lightning storms that happen out on the water and stuff, which are really cool.
You get rain and all kinds of stuff.
I still haven't gone through one of those storms yet. I actually want to go through one just to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's like a lightning storm. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
It does. It looks beautiful though. It really does.
Yeah, I mean it's an awesome game. I mean this is one of the games that I've been the most excited about for a long time.
I do feel like it's missing like population of like people and stuff, but I know that's part of the game, so I'm wondering if that's going to get introduced down the road, of more AI, more interaction, more stuff going on. I wish we saw a little bit more of that, but maybe we will, because every time I go to a memory where it's populated, I'm like, wow, this is so cool, like it's amazing, and then I go back to like a dead world. So I feel like I want to see more of that, and hopefully we do, but we'll see. Yeah. The other one too is how you go to these different areas. You actually go in that jump ship and you select which one you want to go to. The cool concept with that is they could add a whole different world at any time,
Yep. So,
which is really cool. It doesn't,
I
they
think
can
that's
just
what
add it
I'm
in.
most excited about, just to see what they're going to do. I'm just really curious to see what they're going to do, in a weekly thing. Exactly. I think this is the part where I was trying to climb this thing, and I climbed like all the way to the top, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. But yeah, it is cool. I mean, it's an awesome game. I'm still blown away by it. Like I said, there's some things that aren't my favorite, but I'm loving it. I just can't wait to get back into. I keep thinking about this game.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, PD's saying that they're going to update weekly, which is what we heard too.
Yeah.
And it'll be about 6 months before you see repeat missions.
Huh.
So I guess every week, up to 6 months, basically, they're going to have new stuff added in, which is, I wonder if you lose or they change completely every time.
Yeah, I'm not
It'll
sure.
be interesting to see.
He made another point too that I didn't even think about is he said he's worried we will get no more content with Sony buying them because Sony bought the studio. That'll be interesting to see. I would
think we will. I don't know. Maybe not though. I mean, right. Maybe they're going to, change routes now. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah, don't say that. Awesome. I know.
Yeah. But I mean, the scope of this game isn't as big as Asgard's Wrath. That's like a 30, 40 hour game. Most people are saying around 6 hours or so for this game. But, we'll see how that changes with the missions, the weekly things and stuff. And hopefully it's going to be enough to keep us coming back,
Absolutely.
And we'll see about that. And we need to play more multiplayer. We basically just unlocked it. We messed around a little bit. It was late a work night, and so we.
And I'm curious to see how that works too with like missions. If you can progress through with people in missions, like your own progression. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, supposedly. I mean, supposedly you can jump in at any time with people.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
So for me, I actually played on the Index, and you played on the Rift S. I didn't have any issues playing on the Index. By the time I got around to playing it, they had already pushed through an update.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that super chat there.
Hello,
Triani, $2 said, "Gotta go. Yep. Great show, guys. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us."
Yeah, absolutely. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did play on the Index with no issues, and I know we were talking about our Discord and trying to get some other people, into the Index with Knuckles and stuff, and I didn't have a problem. I know that they pushed out, and some of the guys that work with the guy who runs Revive, because he's not around.
It's basically one person, as far as I understand, that really runs Revive, that does Revive.
It is. And somebody else that kind of works and helps or is part of his team, let's call it, did push out a patch for it. And it kind of had to be, side loaded into the software and stuff. But I did have it working right away. I had a little bit of issue with visuals, but I guess they're actually working to get that out right now. It may be out already. I'm not sure. It was kind of like an odd reprojection with some stuff in the distance that was almost like a little bit double vision. I don't know. It didn't bother me though. I didn't have an issue playing it. I could just tell like there were some textures that seemed to have some reprojections, but I don't know. It wasn't a deal breaker for me, and it still looked gorgeous. So
yeah,
I had no fear of playing it.
Yeah, and luckily that worked out good, but I think some people are still having some issues. Hopefully that'll get all ironed out, but it's definitely playable on Steam headsets, Valve Index, HTC Vive, whatever. But one of the other things that happened, launch day, is it got pushed back. I don't know if you were watching all this. I was on their Discord.
It was supposed to be 9 a.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, and it got pushed back to noon, I believe, is when it finally was available to buy. And the bad thing is a lot of people were leaving it really bad reviews because you could already, I guess, I don't know if you pre-ordered or whatever, you could actually leave reviews. And the reviews were down to like 2 stars because people were mad, that it got pushed back. But the problem is that as far as I could tell, is that was an issue with Oculus. That wasn't, the fault of Stormlander, and I think it's Insomniac. That wasn't their fault. So that was kind of sad to see that people were bashing it, but it does happen. And the other thing that I haven't figured out with Oculus is what is the deal with pre-orders? Like I won't pre-order a game from Oculus because so many people, you pre-order it, the game gets released, and the people that pre-ordered it can't download it. Like, and they get the charging gets messed up. Like I don't understand why they haven't figured this out yet.
So I understand a pre-order if the game was uploaded to the server a day before, 2 days before. You can pre-download it. Then when it drops, you can play it and you're good to go. But I don't understand the point in a pre-order if it does nothing for you. If it gets you skins, if it gets something.
This supposedly did. Stormland, I forget what it was, but you did get something for pre-order.
Oh, did you?
And I can't remember what it was now, but I was too scared to do it. I wanted to do it for that reason, but I knew with Oculus, a lot of times their pre-orders, things don't go right. And I was like, I don't want to wait. I want this game to come out, and I want to be able to play it right away. I don't want to have any issues. So They need to get that figured out, because I know a lot of people on Reddit and stuff were ticked off because they pre-ordered the game and they couldn't play it. Like, if you pre-order the game and you can't even play it till after the people that didn't pre-order, that's kind of a little
early
insane.
adopters should always have the first, go at it, for sure.
I mean,
not the last.
Even if it was, I mean, it shouldn't be after the people that just regularly bought it. So hopefully they get that figured out at some point in time, and then I won't be so scared to pre-order from Oculus anymore, but terrifies me.
Right. I know. They need to get on the whole, where all the game console stuff is too. How good they have with all the pre-order stuff, and you get this and it's announced and you download it early. That works so good. I don't know why they don't base all of it off of that. But,
so
I mean, they've worked on that for years to perfect it.
Yeah, Fluke Rogi said the pre-order gave you Oculus Home items. So I knew it was something. I couldn't remember what it was. But
I did see that.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
But see, I think you should get in-game stuff. I mean, come on, where we're at with everything else and how other games operate. I mean, this is a AAA game, let's call it. I mean, it's released by Oculus. It's polished.
It is AAA,
It is.
I want real world
whatever
items.
the depth is of it. Well,
I want like all the Stormland characters like to put on my shelf.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I want.
You want that big box set is what you want.
Yeah. Give me the limited edition with all the.
Yeah, we don't have any of that yet.
Yeah,
VR is not that big yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I know. So how do you think this is going to do from here on out? Do you think it's going to do well? You think reviews are going to end up being good? I actually haven't
the reviews
checked.
have went way up since it actually came out. The reviews went up, and I don't know if some people went back and changed it, but I mean, there are some people that really. I think I know somebody refunded it, I believe, because of the game, the gunplay and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, this is in VR. It's just I don't know. I mean, this is a game that I've been so excited about for so long, and I really am blown away about it. Even though there's some things that I have a little bit of gripes about, but man, like I've been thinking about this game. Like this game runs through my head throughout the day, and I want to get back into it. And I think it's gonna do good. I think once Link comes out, I think it's gonna be.
Sure.
I mean, can you imagine the people that have never had a PC VR headset and all they've had is the Quest, and this is going to be their first PC VR game that they play on the Quest through the Link? Can you imagine that? I mean, that is going to blow those people away. I mean, they've never seen it.
Yeah, you guys won't be able to see it. It's too dark probably, but
So
I do have my cable set up and everything. Yep. It's with an L bracket. Oh, which I did throw in the description too.
Yeah.
Which is the one I purchased. It's a little bit faster speed, a little shorter though. So it's basically going to be good for seated stuff. Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I had something that had the capability to run fast enough to work.
Yeah, that'll work.
I could have risked going to a slower one for longer, but I would love to try this, right out of the gate. That'd be awesome.
I mean, we'll see what happens. From what I've heard, the rumors is that the Link update is supposed to come on firmware 12 on the Oculus Quest, which I believe we're on firmware 11 now. So, I mean, that could be next week. I'm guessing next week. I thought it was going to be this week. I really thought they were going to push it out around the same time as Stormland, so these, increase the sales of Stormland. Hopefully next week. And I know some people, I know the VR Mang ordered a longer cable and some L brackets and stuff he had on the Discord. So, we'll find out what works and what doesn't work once this patch comes through. But
I know. Yeah, I hope it's soon. I really do. I mean, we know it's coming. We do. We know it's soon, but.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I feel like they need these releases with Stormland. Like, why wouldn't they? But
from what I heard, and I don't know if this is true either, but I heard that the actual Link cable itself from Oculus won't be available until 2020, which is a huge disappointment. But the update is going to be this month, and the actual cable supposedly isn't going to be till 2020, which is pretty disappointing.
So they must know, though, it works with plenty of other cables because they wouldn't release this because everyone would just be like, well, why is it out if we can't use it? So hopefully we have some confirmation on cables that work. And, we have people on our Discord that have different cables, so we will know hopefully soon. But yeah, it's crazy. I know.
And I think the main benefit of that Link cable is going to be the length, the quality of the cable with the length of the cable and the transfer speeds. I think that's going to be because it's like 15 feet, which is going to be awesome. And it's a thin cable. It's not, it's supposed to be quite a bit thinner. So I don't know what's taking so long. Longer than any
factory cable, I think, isn't it? The index is pretty long, but it's not even that long.
It's not 15 feet, I don't think.
Oh,
I can't remember now, but so, I guess we'll see what happens, but hopefully, I don't know if it's just a backlog of trying to get enough inventory built up to be able to start selling these things because they know there's going to be a high demand, or I don't know what why it's taking so long. I mean, I'm sure they've been working on this for a while, so I just wish they would have had the cables ready to go. I don't know what the holdup is, but
PD was saying somebody tried it on Quest, and we know some people that have played it on Quest as well. I know Artful and stuff have done it streaming.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little issue with some controller lag is what he was saying, or some twitching or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely playable.
Well, there was an update to Virtual Desktop, the streaming aspect of Virtual Desktop, and supposedly that has gotten quite a bit better. And I actually haven't done that since.
Yeah, I haven't.
I haven't done the streaming since it was actually on the Oculus store when you could download Virtual Desktop, and they put out that update that Oculus freaked out about. So I haven't tried it again. So if you do have a gaming PC and you do want to try the streaming, supposedly it is quite a bit better now. So definitely give it a shot, especially if you have a 5G network.
Cheers, Commander. Thanks for the comment too. Appreciate that in chat. Nothing.
I see.
That was nice. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, if I have the Quest and I could stream this, I mean, I guess if it looks the same visually and plays the same, I would play it wireless. I mean, that would be amazing. But I don't know. It's hard for me to go away from the Index. It really is. It's still my go-to. I mean, it's just the field of view. You can pull those lenses close. Field of view is amazing. Looks really good.
Audio is
I don't know.
Exceptional. I haven't tried this
Audio's
on the
on
Index
point.
yet. I've only played this on Rift S. So, but I mean, the Rift S still looks really good. I mean, the screens are really, really good. So I'm curious what everybody else is thinking about this game. You know, leave it in the comments or whatever if you're watching this afterwards.
Yeah.
I know some people are loving it. Some people aren't as sold on it, but I mean,
it does have a really good review though on Oculus. It's 424 reviews currently and a 4.5 star. So, I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that.
And I wonder if it honestly, I wonder if it would have been better if it wouldn't have got all the bad reviews right off the bat. I don't know if people went back and changed those or if those are still,
all the recent ones are all 5-star. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like most people are liking it.
Yeah.
I don't know how not. I mean, I love it. It's great. I think for the money, it's a great game. I feel like you could play it endlessly if you wanted to and just explore and do stuff and try new things and find new things.
Yeah. And there's a lot of aspect of just the upgrades, upgrading your character, for all the different things. That's going to take some time.
And there's a storyline to it too. So you can head towards a storyline if that's what you like too. So I love it. I think it's great. I think it'll only get better with time and gameplay. So,
and I can't wait to get some more multiplayer in. We only got to experience that a little bit. That's where, to me, I think that's one of the biggest selling points for me about this game is. I wish Asgard's Wrath had co-op. If Asgard's Wrath had co-op and that long of a story, that would be awesome. I would love that. It's still a great game. I got to get back into Asgard's Wrath. I kind of got distracted with Pistol. That thing looks pretty empty. I was gonna say there's not much coming out now, but
let's not talk about it.
Oh, man,
I got the whole carafe here, so I figured it'd last me, but I'm burning through it again. I still got to get a coffee ticker up here.
Yeah, for sure.
Horrible.
So last week we had Gamertag VR and Anthony from VR365. I just want to talk about that for a second. We had a blast. The people really seem to enjoy it. They really seem to enjoy that episode. So we will try to have them on again at some point. Maybe we'll try to do that every so often just because it was a lot of fun. I mean, we really had a good time talking to them and joking around with them. It was a great time. So we will definitely try to do that again.
I know. Really appreciate all the likes and comments and stuff. It was pretty funny. It was a lot of fun for us.
Yeah.
We're glad it all worked out. A little issue with Skype and, OBS.
Yeah, we were having a little bit of issues, but nothing too major.
Goes.
Nothing that took away from it too much, I don't think. But yeah, we will definitely try to do that again. I think we're going to try at some point to do a multi-stream with Stormland. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to try to do a stream with both of our footage at the same time, playing co-op together in Stormland. So we did some testing the other night.
Technical issues setting that out a little bit. It's pretty tough with the latency and everything.
Yeah, so we think we got it pretty much figured out. We did some testing the other night. And we planned on doing it on Thursday. Yeah, we have done it before. We planned on doing it Thursday, and it just didn't work out. So, yeah. And we spent a lot of time in the game by ourselves before we could go in together anyway. So hopefully that'll be something we'll do maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime this week. I don't have a lot of time this week, though. I'm actually going out of town. I'm leaving to go out of town this week, and I'll be gone this coming weekend. So we might do something a little bit different for the show next week, maybe on a different day, maybe a premiere. Maybe
you're going you're headed to the Void, right?
Maybe. I can't remember what all. I'll be in Vegas. I'll be in Vegas. If anybody's in Vegas next weekend or end of next week, let me know. That'd be cool. Maybe we'll do the Void together. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be sweet.
He's so good.
Yeah, so
I
think
the
Void
camera.
is there. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm taking the VR camera. I don't know what I'll get out there and stuff footage wise, but it should be a good time. No
events though. That's no fun.
Yeah, there's no CES. CES is actually, we talked about doing CES, and that's actually in January, which is kind of difficult because I'll just be there now. We have all the holidays, and then boom, it's January. But I know Pimax is going to have a huge booth in at CES, and
Yeah.
from Sweetviver and MRTV both did some stuff this week from a conference. And the reaction of people trying this 8KX and 8K Plus were very, very positive so far. I can't wait to check that out. I'm pretty excited about that. So
Because
that
we're
would be
going
cool.
to CES. Is that why?
Maybe, I don't know. That's gonna be tough. So much stuff going on the end of this year. We'll see what happens, but
Oh, come on.
it would be cool. But yeah,
No,
definitely.
no. I'm gonna beg you till you go, or I'm just gonna have to go by myself, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But we definitely
Those
appreciate
invites.
everybody being here, and all the super chats today. We had a bunch of super chats. We really appreciate that. It helps us out. So
Oh, I know it does.
maybe put that into our Pimax 8KX fund. I don't know.
I know, right?
Hard to say. There's so much stuff coming out, and hard to say what Samsung's still a
I
question
know.
mark. They could still do something.
I know. I feel like though we're kind of locked in on headsets right now at the moment. I know we have like the 8KX and stuff, the high end, but I feel like what we have right now on our table in the VR world is what we're gonna have for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like the progression is going to be more software sided. So like with the hand tracking, but yeah, we could see something out of left field. We really could, and hopefully we do.
I don't know. I mean, it could come. I mean, really anything could drop at any time from a company like Samsung or something like that. We never know.
Valve.
Yeah.
Still waiting on that wireless.
Yeah, wireless. Yeah, wireless.
Could you imagine if they dropped
another
the wireless module? Oh, no, not a
That
headset.
would be
But
epic.
but that is a whole new headset to me. Like if they drop a wireless module for the Index, that's a totally different headset now to me. So I'll be on board on that the minute that goes live. So
that'll be cool.
So cool. I know.
Commander 555666 said Vegas, nice. Better get into some Poker Stars VR now. I need to do like what PD does,
right?
And go to Vegas, sit down at a poker table with my Quest on.
that
would be something. Yeah, they'd kick me out probably.
Yeah,
that would be something PD would do for sure. But yeah, LG gaming science teacher said LG. There's so many players that could drop anything at any time. We never know. So
that's true.
It's hard to say, but.
Yeah.
So Jarillo said, I'm happy with the content by the end of this year. 2020 is looking great too. Yeah, it really is. I mean, we've had a lot of good. I mean, this has been a great year, especially the last 6 months of this year has been great for VR. And I know it's going to continue into 2020, at least the beginning of 2020. I know there's still a lot of titles, a lot we're still getting this year with Boneworks, and it's just so good.
There's so much back catalog for the holidays that I feel like I could play for a week straight and never run out of something.
That's why I'm not upset that The Walking Dead Onslaught has been delayed. I would rather that come in 2020 when I have more time to focus on that a little bit more and stuff. So that's fine.
Break it all apart. Yeah, because everyone's shooting for holiday release right now. I mean, if they can make it or they think they're close, they got to be gunning for that. And I mean, rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, actually, if you want more exposure, probably should be after the holiday. But I mean, it's hard. I don't know.
Yep. Cool.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Me too. Well, thanks again for everybody being here. Yeah, let us know what you're thinking of Stormland and the Curious Tale of Stolen Pets. That's a really, really good game. I'm curious to see if people are picking that up and playing.
That surprised me. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's really
I want to
cool
see if Gaming Science Teacher, I want to see her do a video on that. I feel like that'd be a great. She does some videos on her channel. Yeah, I feel like that would be an awesome video for her to do. So that's really cool. But all right. Well, I guess at this point, we will see you guys next week or...
See you in VR, man.
I knew that was coming.
You know it.
Thanks a lot, everybody. We will see you
Play
next
us out,
time.
Sean. Yep. Later, guys.